Have you ever lied to yourself without even realizing it? You told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But now it's been 3 months, or worse, 3 years, and nothing's changed. Your dreams? Still on pause. That side hustle? Still just an idea. You scroll past your own life while convincing yourself you're just waiting for the right time. But what if that perfect time never comes? And before we dive deeper into the details of how to conquer this, if you don't want to miss out on valuable content like this in future episodes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Think and Rebound.
Absolutely. We've all been there. That overwhelming feeling when you have a massive project staring you down, or even just a pile of laundry that seems to multiply overnight. It's so easy to just shut down and avoid it, right? But today, we're not just going to talk about the problem. We're going to dive deep into how to conquer it with 5 easy techniques that anyone, and I mean anyone, can apply. We're talking about tangible, actionable steps that can turn your "I'll do it later" into "I've already done it."
Let me tell you about Anya. And just a heads up, we'll be using a pseudonym for her story today. Anya had a big dream. She wanted to create art that truly moved people, to pour her heart and soul into beautiful, impactful visual stories. But she struggled with a classic case of what we might call perfectionism-fueled procrastination. She'd get these amazing projects, full of creative potential, but then she'd freeze. The blank canvas felt like an insurmountable mountain. She'd spend hours researching, collecting inspiration, but never actually starting the design. Weeks would go by, deadlines would loom, and she'd find herself in a frantic, last-minute sprint, often delivering good, but not great, work, and feeling utterly exhausted and stressed. This wasn't sustainable, and she knew it. It was affecting her health, her sleep, and even her passion for her dream.
That sounds incredibly relatable, doesn't it? Many of us, myself included, have faced that paralysis when the task ahead seems too big, too important, or too perfect demanding. It's that fear of not getting it just right that can stop us in our tracks. If it were us, we might just keep pushing it off, hoping the problem would magically disappear. You know that feeling, right?
Exactly. Anya decided she had to make a change. She started by implementing the first technique, the 5-minute rule. Instead of telling herself she had to finish the entire project, she committed to working on it for just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. No pressure for perfection, no expectation of completion. Her goal was simply to start. And you know what happened? More often than not, those 5 minutes turned into 15, then 30, then an hour. The inertia was broken. The hardest part is always getting started, and this rule provides a tiny, almost negligible entry point. Have you ever tried something like this? Just a tiny commitment to get the ball rolling?
That's brilliant. And speaking of breaking down big tasks, the second technique Anya adopted, and one that's incredibly effective, is eat the frog. This concept comes from Mark Twain, who famously said, "Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day." In productivity terms, it means tackling your most dreaded, important, or difficult task first thing in the morning, before emails, before social media, before anything else. For Anya, her frog was often the initial concept phase of her creative work. She'd wake up, and even if she only had 30 minutes before her regular workday, she'd dedicate that time to sketching initial ideas, brainstorming layouts, or even just organizing her files for that specific project.
It sounds daunting, right? To face your biggest challenge when you're barely awake. But the power lies in that immediate sense of accomplishment. Once that frog is eaten, the rest of your day feels lighter, more manageable, and you've already made significant progress on the most critical item. Anya found that even on days she couldn't dedicate a full hour, those 30 minutes of focused frog eating propelled her forward. This isn't about being a robot. It's about being strategic with your energy and willpower, especially when it's at its peak. Do you have a frog that you've been avoiding? Imagine the relief if you just got it done first thing.
As Anya continued, she realized the importance of celebrating small wins and building momentum. This brings us to the third technique, breaking down tasks and celebrating progress. Procrastination often thrives on the perceived enormity of a task. If a project feels too big, our brains get overwhelmed and shut down. Anya learned to break her big creative projects into tiny, manageable steps. Instead of create the masterpiece, it became research concept, sketch initial ideas, select color palette, design first element, and so on. Each completed micro-task was a small victory, a check mark on her to-do list that fueled her motivation for the next step. It's like building a big puzzle piece by piece, instead of trying to put it all together at once.
This mental shift is incredibly powerful. And closely related to this is the fourth technique, habit stacking. Anya had a morning routine. She'd make coffee, check her personal emails, and then often get distracted. She started stacking a new habit onto an existing one. After her coffee was brewed and her personal emails were skimmed, she would immediately open her creative software. No thinking, no hesitation. The existing habit acted as a cue for the new desired habit. This simple act of linking a new behavior to an established one made it much easier to integrate into her daily flow. Have you ever thought about how you could stack a new positive habit onto something you already do every day?
And finally, the fifth technique, which ties everything together, optimizing your environment and seeking accountability. Anya realized her workspace was a major source of distraction. Notifications popping up, social media tabs open, clutter everywhere. She deliberately created a work mode environment. She'd turn off non-essential notifications, use website blockers for social media during work hours, and clear her desk of anything unrelated to her current task. She also found an accountability partner, a friend with a similar creative dream with whom she'd check in daily, sharing her frog for the day and her progress. Just knowing someone else was expecting an update made a huge difference.
This is where it gets really powerful. It's not just about willpower, it's about setting yourself up for success. We often underestimate how much our surroundings influence our behavior. If you're trying to focus, but your phone is constantly buzzing, it's like trying to run with ankle weights. Anya started seeing real, tangible results. Her stress levels plummeted, her creative work quality improved dramatically, and she even found herself taking on more challenging and fulfilling projects, not out of panic, but out of genuine passion. She transformed from a procrastinator haunted by deadlines into a disciplined, proactive creator, finally moving closer to her dream.
Anya's story is just one example. Think about someone like John, who wanted to achieve his lifelong dream of running a marathon. For years, he'd download apps, start training plans, and then quit after a few days. He finally decided to use the 5-minute rule for his running. Just 5 minutes of actual running every day. Soon, 5 minutes turned into 10, then 20, and within a year, he not only completed his first marathon, but was already training for his second. His consistent small efforts accumulated into a significant accomplishment.
And then there's Sarah, a single mom juggling a full-time job and trying to launch her own online business. Her big goal was to achieve financial independence and create a legacy for her child. Her frog was often responding to customer inquiries or writing product descriptions, tasks she found draining. She committed to tackling those first thing after putting her child to bed, even if it was just for 15 minutes. By doing the hardest thing first, she cleared her mental space and gained the momentum to tackle her other tasks with more energy and enthusiasm. She also used habit stacking by immediately opening her business dashboard after she finished her nightly reading.
So, to recap, these 5 techniques aren't magic, but they are incredibly powerful when applied consistently. The 5-minute rule: just start, even for a tiny amount of time. Break the inertia. Eat the frog. Tackle your most challenging or important task first thing in the morning. Break down tasks and celebrate progress. Make big tasks small and acknowledge every step forward. Habit stacking. Link a new desired habit to an existing established one. And optimize your environment and seek accountability. Remove distractions and involve others in your journey.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel stuck in the cycle of procrastination. We've all been there. But the good news is you have the power to change it. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. Just pick one of these techniques. Start with the 5-minute rule tomorrow morning, or identify your biggest frog and commit to eating it first. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every small step you take builds momentum, builds confidence, and builds that unbreakable discipline we've been talking about. Imagine where you could be in just a few weeks or months if you consistently applied even one of these. The choice is yours. What small step will you take today to build your unbreakable discipline?